top of the stream as well. I think it's going still, maybe. Oh my goodness. I think I may have crashed everything. No, we are good. We're going. Ah, it's working. Gotta love that. All right, so here we go. League Monthly, March 2012. It's round number 2. Furious Battle Warrior Lords on your right-hand side of the screen here, and then we've got Team Just the Usual on the left-hand side, and we see a quick Shen, Shaco, and Urgot bans.
Yeah, Urgot's sort of curious. He's come out of the woodworks from obscurity into popularity all of a sudden. I think it's because a bunch of the professional players have started playing him on stream, and people are saying, hey, wait a minute, he's actually pretty good.
Now, something we're also seeing with Urgot is we're seeing a lot of, and we see the LeBlanc ban right away. Not that surprising. Loopiness is the mid, right? Usually for Just Usual, if I remember right.
I don't remember exactly.
I'm blocking out on. Yeah. Urgot is somewhat usual. He allows for lane to be 2v1, like we saw back at Hanover. He allows for, because of his harassment, because of how he is, he kind of opens it up, allowing for the roaming meta to kind of make a way back in. And so it'll be interesting to see if we see maybe any of that coming up on this tournament.
Yeah, I couldn't believe what I saw in Hanover. When I saw that, I mean, I didn't know what to say. I was so excited about it, but at the same time, I was thinking, my poor bot lane. All right, so there we go. First pickup by Just the Usual is Janna.
I'm not surprised by that.
Not surprising at all. Just the Usual loves Janna. They love Janna, and they really like Nunu. I heard. Nunu has gotten really popular recently.
Yeah, Nunu and Janna both have gotten very popular, and Janna has everything. Janna is exactly what you're looking for in a support. She doesn't require items. She has a lot of CC. She has a lot of protection ability, and basically, your lane, if you have a good Janna on your team, your lane is ungankable.
Yeah, definitely. Her shield sort of doubles as sustain as long as she's a good Janna, because that's an extra 250 health, plus of course the AD that it adds onto it. Makes her an amazing initiation champion. So we have Lee Sin and Taric being picked up by Furious.
Not too surprised by either of those as well. Lee Sin is just strong. Lee Sin has always been strong. And Taric is somebody we've actually been seeing kind of a comeback on. Taric is somebody that we haven't necessarily seen a lot. Over the past couple of weeks, though, we've seen a rise in Taric. I mean, that stun, having a on-demand stun is strong.
Yeah, I'm thinking about how Taric is going to be matching up against Janna, though. It's interesting. Oh, there's an Ashe. I wonder if he's going to keep that. So let's see. Let's just keep with what has actually been locked in, because we have a tendency to get trolled.
We get trolled pretty hard by these people. I will say, though, that Ashe is probably the most complementary champion to go along Janna just because of her kiting abilities. I would say Ashe and maybe Misfortune. Misfortune, though, really benefits a lot from a Sona in lane because of the auras. And we see an Alistar pick, which could possibly be in the jungle. Ashe and Janna, the kiting ability with an Ashe and Janna is so strong. The ability to slow with Janna and then the Ashe arrows, the volley, basically guarantees that you're going to be perma-slowed until you get back to your turret or until you die.
Yeah, I think it's really going to depend on how aggressive this Taric decides to lane against this Ashe and Janna, and obviously it's going to depend on the AD pick. Because if Taric can get in there before Janna and Ashe can start running away, if they can really get in there, they can just completely shut them down. Because like you were saying, Ashe, really amazing at kiting, but if Taric can get in there, stun them, close distance with whoever they end up playing AD, if it's Kennen, that's going to be brutal. So if they can just close that distance, it could be really dangerous. However, they do have Janna, and Janna is amazing at just keeping the enemy away, especially when she hits 6. It's like, oh, you got a stun off. Congratulations, ult.
Yeah, see ya. I mean,
oh, and there it is. There's Ezreal. Looks like they want to try and poke them down as well. That makes a lot of sense, because Taric has sustain, Janna doesn't have sustain in the same way. And if Ezreal is able to out-harass Ashe, which is a potentiality, then that would mean that Taric can get that stun off, they can make them burn cleanse, and then they can just do it again.
Yep. And
that can be really brutal. I can see Taric and Ezreal really zoning out Janna and Ashe early on.
Yeah, I think that was good counter picks. I agree. I think that was a strong counter pick. I think having Ezreal with Taric kind of, it allows for the not only the poke, but also, I mean, Ezreal, if you land him right, he gets some good burst out, and if you have somebody stunned, he can aim those skill shots pretty easily and get a good amount of burst down. So I agree. I think that that's going to be a good counter pick. I think those are both really strong bottom lanes. I don't see... Well, I think it was a good pick. I don't know if it necessarily hard counters. I think it's just going to be a solid pick alongside it.
I agree. It's not necessarily hard counter like Sivir is a hard counter to Caitlyn, but it's definitely going to be strong. I wouldn't be surprised if whoever's playing Ezreal decided to pick up Exhaust because he jumps in, pops Exhaust, and then just starts laying down damage. Because unless they change their summoner spells, just the usual doesn't really have anything that is really geared toward one-on-one or two-on-two fighting. Ashe has Cleanse, and that's going to help against the Taric stun, but it's nothing like a heal or Exhaust. And then just the usual, it does enjoy taking Clairvoyance. So that may be a lane that they just have to play completely defensively, and it's going to depend on whether Taric and Ezreal can jump in there and really shut them down early. So I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if they really went for early aggression.
Absolutely, and we see a Swain sort of being thought out here, maybe possibly. I would love Swain is a strong champion.
Yes.
And I think he has been picked. So this team here, it looks like on the right-hand side, Team Furious, which actually we're going to be shortening it down to Furious. They're actually Furious Battle Warrior Lords. And it's spelt all sorts of crazy, and I don't even want to get into it against Team Just the Usual. But man, I love the pick. I think they have a strong AoE comp right now. You've got Swain, whose ultimate is AoE and does a lot of healing. You've got Kennen, who of course has his AoE. Lee Sin has his AoE slow. It's going to be interesting to see how Team Just the Usual reacts to this. On the other side, I think Team Just the Usual actually, I think they might have the lane advantage. I don't know how I necessarily feel about that, but Veigar is strong, man. Veigar is strong. Irelia, I feel like is stronger than Kennen. I feel like Irelia, if played right, can beat Kennen in lane, and I just love that Ashe Janna lane. I love an Ashe Janna lane.
Yeah, I agree. Ashe Janna is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Looking at the other lanes, though, I think that Swain was a really good pick because Veigar, what he shuts down is straight up AP damage. What we're looking at here is Swain, who is more of an AP, tanky, bruiser mage.
Right.
And that's good, which means he's going to be able to build Magic Resist early, build it into something that matters, and still have it be a viable, strong build. So I think that Swain was a really good counter pick. Obviously not like Ryze, because Ryze doesn't build much AP at all, he just builds mana. But Swain, he does have really good synergy with the team. And I understand why they picked him instead of Ryze, because if he can land that Never move, that is going to allow Kennen to land his skill shot, Lee Sin to land his skill shot, Ezreal to land his skill shots.
Right.
And, of course, if Taric gets the stun off, that is going to make Never move even easier to land, so I can see a lot of synergy there.
I think it's going to be, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be, I feel like when it comes down to it, when you boil it all down, I feel like Team Furious on the right-hand side here has the better team comp for team fights. I feel like if they initiate well enough, they have the better team fight. However, I feel like the lane advantage and the early game is going to go over to Just the Usual on the left-hand side. I think that even though you have characters that generally do better late game, I think that they're just going to be a little bit stronger and be able to harass a little bit more, propelling them further into the game. And I mean, the whole reason I say that is based around one champion, Jungle Alistar. You have a Jungle Alistar and the ganks that come from Jungle Alistar are ridiculous. So we're going to see. It's going to really depend on that early game.
Yeah, definitely. And that's really strange to think about, because usually when you think Ashe, you think late game kiting. But Ashe can definitely also have a strong early game. That arrow cannot be underestimated. And in fact, we see Ezreal picking up Cleanse, probably specifically for that. And of course for the slow on volley, making sure that he just can't get kited back down to tower.
Absolutely.
I find it interesting, I'm not quite certain why they picked Veigar. I guess they picked him for the stun circle, but he really needs that farm with Q. I think that he's going to be able to farm alright even with Swain, but he's going to have a lot of trouble doing early game aggression, especially if we do what I suspect Parlevox. Yes, Parlevox. If he picks up an early Negatron cloak, which is what I would expect from him, so he can get that Abyssal Scepter eventually, and of course giving that magic resist so that he can't be harassed out by Veigar. If he does that, he's going to be sitting pretty, and that mid lane is going to be really tough to gank, especially with Never Move.
Absolutely. So I agree with you. I think that'll be... I think that might just be... Usually I say kind of the key matchup is going to be in the jungle. And that's partly because I main jungle champions, but also because I feel like right now in the current meta we have and in the current game we have, the strongest position, the most important position right now is the jungle. It really is. You can't argue with the amount of wins and losses that come out of the jungle. Whether it's from counter jungling or just strong ganking or whatever it is, that's what a lot of time runs the games. I think this game is going to really depend on the mid. I think how well Veigar or Swain does is going to dictate how well this game goes. And so we're going to have to keep our eye on that early game, especially mid lane, and see what happens.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of factors to this game. What's going to come down to is which team can handle laning better. Because if early game, if Just the Usual can really win out that laning phase, they're going to be able to completely shut Furious down.
Right.
Okay, I can't
Furious.
just say their full name.
Team Furious.
Let's see, I'm thinking about Lee Sin. I really, really like that Lee Sin pick.
Lee Sin is always a strong pick, though. I mean, you really can't... There's not a lot of times you can go wrong with picking Lee Sin.
Yeah, we have a... I'm just looking at Furious. Furious has an amazingly mobile team. Sure, you have Swain and Taric, but Taric is what's really going to throw out that stun, and he's going to allow Kennen, Lee Sin, and Ezreal to all jump in. Kennen has that movement speed buff from Lightning Rush, Lee Sin has his Q, and even if he misses his Q, Ezreal is going to phase shift in, or I don't remember what it's called, but he's going to phase shift in, and then Lee Sin is just going to W over to him. So
right.
That's a potential engage. Of course, that's going to put Ezreal in trouble, but he does have Flash, does have Cleanse, and I could see that happening if Lee Sin misses his Q. So maybe that's something to watch out for in a dragon fight, potentially, if they want to try to steal it.
I agree with you. I think the high mobility of the team is good. However, you got to remember that right now, Team Just the Usual also has kind of an anti-mobility team comp. I mean, with Alistar's knockup, with Janna's knockup, with the slow from Janna, with Ashe and her arrow, with Irelia, with Veigar. I mean, every single champ right now that Team Just the Usual has. Team Just the Usual is the blue team right now up on the top. They have some form of CC that is very strong. You can't say that necessarily right now with Team Furious. I mean, they have strong CC. They have a good stun from Taric. They have Kennen, of course, the king of CC. But then with Lee Sin, you have a slow. You have his ultimate. Ezreal, of course, has no form of CC. And with Swain, he does have his Never Move, but Never Move. But that is a very hard skill shot to land. If you're smart, you can kind of outplay that sometimes. You've got to be really smart about it. So I think that they're both really strong team comps, but they both kind of complement against each other well.
Yeah, I think what it's going to come down to is skill. Skill is what's going to decide this. Who can win the lane based off of their skill? Who can win in team fights based off of your initiation? I think what we're going to be seeing a lot more is Just the Usual trying to kite them out. Oh, look at this. Veigar is in the bushes, and here comes Kennen. This could get very ugly for Kennen. There's a Sun Circle. There's the Pulverize.
Oh,
look at that
wow.
damage. He flashed the wall, but there are 3 flashes to complement it, and First Blood goes to Aurelia. Ouch.
Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what. You saw the pings. It's kind of amazing that all of the pings went down right around the same area, but Just the Usual knew exactly where to be at that right time, and they did not hesitate at all. That's one of the reasons why, by the way, if you're watching this right now, you don't pick your move right away. You don't pick your first skill right away, because Veigar, normally you pick up your Q, you've got Baleful Strike, so that way you can start farming up that, but he made sure to grab his stun right away so Alistar could land his knockup. If he didn't have that, I don't think that would have happened. I don't think that they necessarily would have been a kill.
I think it may still have happened. I don't know that 3 flashes is really necessary, but they wouldn't have had to burn... I don't think they had to burn 3 flashes. So I think they may have still gotten it because of all of that damage. Aurelia, of course, taking her... Or actually, no, she took her Equilibrium Strike. That's a lot of CC still. But I agree that it definitely ensured the kill. Event Horizon made sure that they got that.
Absolutely. And we see kind of a typical start for Alistar. He's going to go and grab blue right away, and it looks like Lee Sin is going to start with kind of an aggressive route over on the red. Ken's going to probably come over here and leash the red. So it's going to be kind of a typical start. The thing I love about both these junglers, both Lee Sin and Alistar, is they are aggressive junglers. We are going to see ganks early, and we are going to see ganks fast happening out of the jungle.
See, Aurelia looks like she did go back to buy. So with that extra gold that she got, she picked up extra health potions and 2 sight wards. That is going to keep her so safe. Pawn Gypsy playing a really defensive game, doesn't want those early Lee Sin ganks. However, Lee Sin is quite low. He's going to have trouble ganking.
Oh man, Alistar's coming in here and he sees Lee Sin. Lee Sin is low. He does not have his flash up, so he's trying to get he wants to land that headbutt into the pulverize. Can he get it? Oh, there goes the headbutt to pulverize! Nails him! And Lee Sin has to flash out, otherwise would have grabbed the kill. And Alistar just bullying Lee Sin out of there. And that's not going to result in a kill, but man, Lee Sin is going to fall behind after that.
Man, that was so close. That was really good play from Alistar. He obviously knows. He obviously plays Lee Sin, knowing that he can just go there. He's probably taking red buff now. He's going to be level 2. He's probably going to be low. Let's go get him.
And that was a good play. I'm surprised Lee Sin was there so low. I'm surprised that he didn't. Lee Sin, who started with, it looks like he started with a Vampiric Scepter. A lot of times now you see people starting with the Cloth and 5 pots just to have that extra sustain. And Kennon's in a bad position right now. Kennon lays down the stun. The Ignite is off on Kennon. The headbutt from Alistar, and he is gone. That is going to be another kill for Irelia, who is now 2-0, only 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, Aurelia is doing a fantastic job picking up those kills. Aurelia is one of those bruisers that can scale into late game if she gets enough farm and enough feed. And from the way things are going, Kennen was doing a really good job of making sure that he didn't lose lane too hard, but with that gank, it's going to be even harder for him to come back from this.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one person, because of Aurelia's true damage, she's somebody that, like you said, she scales hard in late game. You build defensively, she still hits like a truck, and you're going to be in trouble. And so that's probably one of the few people you didn't want to start feeding. But big time kudos over to Alistar, who is just bullying Lee Sin out of the jungle. Looks like he only used 1 health potion out of the 3 that he had, and he's already going to be going back with blue buff and also a couple more pots to go back and purchase. Now Lee Sin is starting to make his way around towards mid. I wonder if we're going to see a gank on Veigar pretty soon here.
Yeah, definitely. His red buff is running out soon, and he wants to make sure he makes use of it. Yeah, here he comes. There's the slow. The never move misses, but it looks like Veigar is trying to work his way into the bushes. Lee Sin is W'd over to Swain, but yeah, he's just using that to get out. That was really good play from Loopiness. I still think that Lee Sin could have gone for that. Veigar is out of mana, not going to be doing a whole lot of damage there. But either way, Lee Sin is going to run over and find out that his raids have been taken. Alistar is ganking top in the meantime. Pulverize goes out, and here comes Aurelia with the slow. Headbutt into the wall. The damage is massive. Aurelia just used 1 mono attack. She flashes for it, and she gets a 3rd kill.
Watch out, though. We've got Lee Sin coming up here in the tri-bush. Aurelia is going to be in a bad place if Lee Sin hits his Q in there. Oh, he does hit the Q. She is in a bad place, and she is going to fall to Lee Sin, who is going to pick up a very much needed kill on the Irelia, who is right now 3-1 after that. So Irelia is going to get the opportunity to go back. However, it's back in a coffin.
Yeah, that was really good play from Lee Sin. He saw he was in the area. He saw Aurelia was low. He saw that she had to dive around back behind the tower. That was very good job of Kennen getting behind the tower, making sure that Aurelia needed to go that way. So putting her in a more dangerous position.
And we see Alistar going ahead and farming up Irelia's lane. Irelia is going to go back quickly and purchase. I mean, what a strong purchase. You are about 6 minutes into the game, you're going against the Kennen, and you already have Merc Treads and another Null Magic Mantle. That's going to give you around, she currently has 101 magic resistance this early in the game. Kennen is just not going to do any damage to Irelia, and that's going to allow her to farm up a quick Wit's End, which is very strong on her. Oh, and we see another gank coming in really quickly here. There goes the true damage onto Kennen. Kennen tries to get away. The pulverize and the headbutt from Alistar, and he is going to fall fast to Irelia, who just, with that hidden style, has an extra 45 true damage per hit, and it just does so much damage. We do see Lee Sin taking advantage, though, of the Alistar being up top and does grab the red buff, but I mean, right now you're feeding Irelia. Oh, Lee Sin is coming in. There's the Event Horizon onto Swain. Lupin is taking a lot of damage. He's going to have to waste his flash out of there. Now Alistar's in a bad position, but he is going to get out of there just fine, and there will be no kills exchanged out of that one.
Kennen is level 3 light. Oh no, Alistar has come in for aggression on Swain. He's forced to flash out. Lee Sin is going to make sure that he's going to be safe, though. So that's flash burnt from both mids. Swain, I think, though, is in the better position, because if Vhagar doesn't have his flash, he's not going to be able to get out of that well-placed never move if he does land it.
What a strong flash, by the way, from Swain as well. That could have been an easy kill from Alistar, who has his Pulverize and his Headbutt, but Swain just getting out of the Pulverize in time. So he had to waste his flash, but for all the best reasons. And it looks like Alistar camping out down bottom here. There is a ward right up here, so if he does go
Vhagar going down mid.
Oh,
yep.
man.
There it is.
Yep.
I'm not surprised by that at all. Vhagar was low on mana, low on health. I'm surprised he didn't go back. I mean, that kill was just sort of in the making.
And Alistar is still camping out this bottom lane here. I wonder if he's trying to figure out some sort of way. There is a ward up here. He can't come out of that tri-brush in the river. Looks like they're actually pinging. Just the usual is pinging, saying, there's a ward there. Don't come out of the tri-brush, or they will know that you're there. I have to imagine Ashe is going to try to push this lane out a little bit so he can come in for a ninja gank. There are no wards in this bush, so they wouldn't know.
And Ashe is doing a better job of farming bot lane. We haven't been paying much attention to that, because, well, it's been sort of a boring lane. Taric and Ezreal just have not been able to engage on Ashe and Janna the way they want to. In fact, the harass isn't even that impressive. Neither team has backed yet. They both still have their starting game items.
Lee Sin picking up a quick Wriggles, and we also see, I mean, just to show kind of how far ahead Irelia is over Kennen. She's level 7 right now. Irelia is 7 over a level 5 Kennen, and that's big. That's a huge advantage. We do see Swain picking up his quick Catalyst, so I have to imagine he is going to go actually for a quick Rod of the Ages. However, he did grab a Null Magic Mantle, and so it looks like he will probably be going for Merc Treads as his boost of choice.
Yeah, he has Catalyst for his lane sustain, and then is going to be getting Merc Treads on his next back. He should be able to get it pretty soon.
Which does make sense. Now, we do see bottom lane getting pushed out pretty hard from Just the Usual. Chris on Alistar is sitting down in that bush. He does start to make his way back. There are no wards in there, so they don't know that he's in there. Lee Sin, though, is kind of camping the area as well. That was a beautiful hawk shot from Ashe to kind of give away where they were. Now, Ezreal and Taric do not know that Alistar is sitting in that bush. Oh, there goes the Pulverize into the headbutt. Big time damage. There goes the ult. Ashe and Ezreal just misses the ult. And, oh, man. So close. We see the Ezreal ult as well, trying to pick up a few minions, but what a beautiful flash from Ezreal. And that's why even though you have a built-in flash, you still grab flash on a champion just in case of something like that.
Yeah, that was really well played, so almost baiting out that Ashe arrow. I think Ashe could have waited just a little bit longer.
Now you see Team Furious right now, Team Furious the purple, really being extra conservative when it comes to their blue buff to get it over to, I assume they wanted to give it to Swain, but it looks like actually Lee Sin took it, and he used his smite in the process, so his smite will be down. I'm kind of surprised. Right now, Just the Usual would have a decent shot at Dragon, but it looks like instead they're going to grab their blue buff. So never mind. That's actually a good call on their part.
Yeah, they had to give blue buff to Lee Sin because he's still not 6. He's working his way. This camp is finally going to give him 6. But they really need that so they can start having that stronger gank potential. Right now, Alistar is just blowing Lee Sin out of the water. In fact, here he comes. He's coming around. The ward has just gone down, but he knows that Lee Sin is around his red buff. Alistar is just waiting for Lee Sin to show his cards. Alistar is running around.
He knows that he is there, and Swain is still kind of sitting pretty stoic in the lane there. Vhagar does have the blue buff over Swain. Uh-oh, Swain is coming in. Irelia is there, though. She's pretty low on mana. There goes the damage onto Lee Sin. Lee Sin actually gets headbutted over the ledge. There goes the Event Horizon. It does not hit anybody for Vhagar, and it looks like, oh, Kennen's coming around the corner. Bad positioning for Kennen. Kennen with the ultimate. Alistar getting pretty low. He does not have his ultimate. He did get ignited. It will not be enough, and it looks like no kills will come out of that one. I'm a little bit surprised. That was pretty close. Oh, they never move on to Ezreal, or excuse me, Vhagar. Vhagar does get the Event Horizon onto Swain, but Swain is going to be able to ultimate and just kind of soak up some HP. Oh, Alistar coming in. The big damage onto Swain. Swain does get ignited, and Swain is going to fall to loopiness on Vhagar, and that'll be a pickup for Just the Usual, who have now taken a 5-2 lead.
2 health. Vhagar fell to 2 health with Ignite.
Wow.
I watched that. Oh my gosh, that was so close.
Absolutely amazing. That was a very, very close exchange. Very gutsy from Vhagar. Great heads-up play, though, from Alistar. The great bait in there and picking up the kill. Like I said, right now they have a 5-2 lead when it comes to kills. They have about a 3K gold advantage right now. And taking a look at where that's going, it looks like Vhagar sitting pretty with about 3.4k. Aurelia, of course, up to almost 4,000. Kind of quick note, it looks like nobody on Team Furious has over 3k gold, whereas there are 3 players right now. It looks like Jana actually disconnected and is back in, but 3 players on Team Just Usual over 3k gold. So obviously a pretty good big gold advantage right now for Team Just Usual. Oh, bad positioning for, right now Vagar in bad positioning. There goes the Event Horizon, slow onto Vagar. Lee Sin is in the area, but Vagar is going to escape out of there, and we also see the Ashe arrow coming in, so good play. And Aurelia, in the process, picks up her Wit's End.
Yeah, Wit's End is really a core item from Aurelia. Once she gets her Wit's End, it's really hard to stop her. She can, well, because she can just auto-attack, it's going to make her attacks do that much more damage. So that's her He-10 style, doing 75 true damage every attack. That coupled with Wit's End. Uh-oh, looks like we've lost Jana.
It looks like Starmie's kind of having some internet issues, disconnecting in and out, and so hopefully she gets back in. Jana, pretty pivotal part of this team, especially when it comes to team fights. So, you know, right now, if Just the Usual wants to win it and Jana's not there, they're going to have to do some quick killing and pushing.
Yeah, Jana is really what I think the team was banking on to stop those hard engages, because Jana is, not only does she have great CC, but she's the counter engage. Her CC is so versatile, she can use it offensively or defensively, and that's what makes her one of the best supports in the game.
Ooh, mid, we've got a very interesting engage about to happen. Lee Sin did see Alistar sitting in that bush, and so they won't engage, but man, you had 2 people sitting there camping, both Lee Sin and Alistar. I think they both know, we were talking about this in the Champions, like how important this mid lane is going to be, whether you have Vagar Snowball or you have Swain Snowball, and so far it's been pretty even.
Yeah, they both, well, Vagar does have an assist. Vagar is farming better, and of course farm is really important on Vagar. He needs to get his farm with Baleful Strike, getting that ability power. He's sitting on 127 right now, but he also has that Deathfire Grasp. Ooh, barely missed that.
Ooh, it looks like Team Furious is going to pick up the Dragon right away, and it's kind of a good call on their part. Kennen making his way down there. Aurelia is up top, being able to pretty much free farm, so hopefully she can get a good chunk out of that turret up there.
Well, and we have a lot of damage on Vagar. Wow, that was just a lot of burst. However, Alistar is after him. That was so smart. That was brilliant.
What a beautiful ward.
Into the bushes, so Alistar plopped a ward in them so he could headbutt. That was so good.
What a beautiful play. Now, Aurelia is in kind of a bad position. Alistar is there. Kennen could be in the bad place. Now, there goes the Pulverize and the headbutt. Can Aurelia get over there? There she goes. Gets over there, gets the slow. The Ignite is off on Kennen. Kennen is going to fall and waste his ultimate in the process. And I have a feeling Aurelia is going to be able to take this top tower now. There's no one really up there. Oh, and then we see the Ashe ult down there, and a cleanse coming off on Ezreal will stop from anything too bad to happen.
Yeah, that's sort of the defensive lineup that both of them have run. Both Ashe and Ezreal have cleanse. And of course Ezreal is able to jump out, Ashe has her kiting potential. So that's why it's been such a boring lane. In retrospect, it makes a lot of sense.
I'm not too surprised both of them grabbed cleanse because of how much CC both teams have. You know, Kennen, of course, on one team has got Alistar and Jana and Vagar and Aurelia, and so both teams really have a lot of CC, so I'm not surprised either of them really grabbed it, as we see both teams just kind of making their way farming and grabbing up their respective buffs. Look at how defensive, and they've been this way the whole game, how defensive Team Furious has been of their buffs. They have right now 3 people, actually they have almost all 5 in the vicinity of the bottom lane just so they can grab that blue buff.
Yeah, they really don't want Alistar coming in there, because think about it. They're all going to be clumped up in this area. If Alistar can get a Pulverize off and hit 4 people, that's going to be dangerous. However, Vagar taking a lot of damage. He's down to half health now. Swain is really being a bully, and of course he has blue buff. He's just going to be able to spam his ultimate, spam his torment for harass.
Oh, we see a ping go down. We see a ping go down towards the entrance of the jungle. They do know that he is there. There goes the, there goes the Event Horizon. Oh, the ultimate from Vagar! Vagar, look at that damage he did with his ultimate, but Vagar falls in the process to the damage over time on Swain. And so Swain does pick up the kill. Right now, Swain is doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, Swain is really doing well. He has his Hextech Revolver. He has his Catalyst. He's really got his core. He's feeling good right now. Veigar takes a little bit more because he needs that Deathfire Grasp to add to his burst, but he also needs AP to empower his abilities. I said that right?
Yep, absolutely. AP to.
So Veigar's going to take more time to farm. Swain, however, he's in his prime right now. He's quite happy.
Ooh, Lee Sin in a bad place. The ward comes down on their red buff, and Lee Sin does know that that ward is there. Irelia, who's 4 levels above this Lee Sin right now, there's just nothing that he can do. And it's surprising to see Lee Sin so under-leveled, considering he has 1 kill, 0 deaths. He was so bullied out of the jungle so early on that it really took a toll on him.
And we see that Alistar has finally picked up an Oracle's Elixir. This is the first Oracles we've seen of the game. Usually we're seeing them a lot earlier, but I guess because it's been such an aggressive game, they don't want to worry about losing that, because they want those ganks early. Looks like we're going to be catching Kennen. The ward did catch Kennen. There's the headbutt. There's the pulverize. Here comes Relia. She's going to come in with her dash retensile, doing a lot of damage. The slow is on him. He flashes out, though. He's going to be okay under tower, but looks like Veigar is still here. He wants to try to get that kill. However, here comes Lee Sin. He's going to see that. He's going to barely miss the event horizon. If that had landed, that would have easily been a dead Kennen, even with Lee Sin there to protect him.
However, it is a good get for Just Usual, because they will pick up the red buff right away, and so that will propel them just a little bit further, as they now have almost a 4K gold advantage over Team Furious, as they just continue to farm. That's what you want to do. Looking at Veigar, he's got about 55 extra AP coming out of his Baleful Strike. That is the first thing he decided to level up. Veigar is one of those interesting champions where it's weird to try to figure out what to level up first, because you want to be able to farm up the AP with the Baleful Strike, but the longevity of the stun out of Event Horizon early on as well is really nice. So it's always kind of interesting to see what a Veigar is going to go with first.
I've actually been very impressed with Furious so far. Furious has done a good job of not getting too far behind. Yeah, it's a 4K difference. Oh no, it looks like Lee Sin has been caught up by Aurelia. The kick is going to make sure he's going to be fine, though. Aurelia is going to have to back off, even with that red buff.
I would say that, if anything, I've been super impressed with Swain so far this game. Swain has played really strong. He's 3-3 right now, but with a team that has Alistar, you know, it's hard not to die, especially mid lane. But every time he's died, he's taken Veigar down with him. He hasn't let himself go down in vain. And there goes the Event Horizon. Oh, wow, the damage that's going off. And there goes the Never Move. Veigar is going to die, and Swain with the... Man, that Spell Vamp is just ridiculous. And he's going to get out of there scotch-free. And it's with his ultimate and also with the revolver. He currently has a Hextech revolver. He is able to heal a ton.
Yeah, like I said, Swain is in his prime right now. He has his Hextech revolver. He has his Catalyst for lane sustainability. He has his Merc Treads. He's right now an unstoppable force. And until Veigar gets maybe a Void Staff or something that's going to help him bypass that magic resistance, maybe even an Abyssal Scepter, it's possible. We have the Blasting Wand. He does have his Sorcerer issues now, but he's going to need more AP if he's going to try to do anything right now. So just usual.
Even though right now Team Furious is behind, and they continue to get behind in gold, they're really kind of sticking... right now, you kind of look at gold advantages on how well a team is doing, but right now, Team Furious is in kind of a decent position with what they're getting, what they're purchasing, and how they're playing. I'm really interested to see how this is going to transition into late game. I think that Team Furious might transition a little bit better into late game. We'll see. We do see the Dragon getting picked up, though, by Just Usual, so that's going to propel them. They now have about a 6K gold advantage.
Just the Usual has much more map control right now. They have 2 towers down, and of course they're going to be able to get Dragon off of that. They just their map control is so much better right now. The rest of Furious just has to stay back so far to make sure they don't get caught out. Their ward coverage is 1 ward in that 4-way lane up by Baron, and that's it. And this, with that map control they have... Oh boy,
we're going to have a big fight here around the blue buff for Team Furious. Lee Sin is in the area. He does lay his Q down. Oh, and the steal from Veigar! The Ashe ultimate is down. The damage onto Swain is enough to take him out from Veigar. The ultimate from Kennen is off, but it's not enough. Irelia is going to pick up the kill onto Kennen. Carrick is now going to fall to Veigar. Veigar picking up 2 quick kills, and Lee Sin is in a bad position now. I don't think he's going to be able to get out of this one. This is just a kiting team right now, and Lee Sin is indeed going to fall. What a big pickup, and that may be the nail in the coffin right there. That may have been the game. That may have been the play that won the That may have been the play that won the game for Just the Usual. We'll have to see, though.
I agree. We're seeing those really strong initiations from Furious, but at this point, Just the Usual won lane so hard that they're going to be able to use that momentum to carry them through these team fights that they possibly should be losing overall, but just because they picked their lanes so well and their ganks were so fruitful, they were able to bypass that worry, and that early game team comp is really working out for them.
Something we haven't really looked at quite yet, but something that we probably should, is the number of CS right now Ashe has over Ezreal, and the items right now Ashe has over Ezreal. Right now Ashe has the Infinity Edge, has Azeel, has 2 Dorans. Right now Ezreal only has 1 Dorans and one in his Infinity Edge. So right now Ashe is pretty well farmed over Ezreal, and that might make a pretty big impact.
Yeah, it's interesting that we don't see any lifesteal from any of them. I mean, you have Doran's Blade on Ezreal, but that's nothing really to write home about.
Absolutely.
Oh, it looks like Veigar's been initiated in mid lane. Never move has landed. Veigar's forced to flash out. Taric is not close enough to be able to do anything. Wow! Oh no, here comes Ezreal!
Wow!
Veigar.
That was it. I mean, wow. That was so close on Veigar. The damage right now, Swain is just he's handling. The only reason Veigar is winning that mid lane right now is because of his teammates. That is the only reason. Right now, if Swain were to be going 1v1 against Veigar, Swain would be winning this handedly. And Swain is just doing a great job. Even though Swain is 4-4, he is playing a great game right now. I am really impressed. He finishes up his Will of the Ancients, by the way, and so it looks like they're going to be going for a double Will of the Ancients with Kennen as well. It might be a little bit too late, though.
Yeah, Swain definitely was a really good counter pick to Veigar, but because Alistar was there to make sure that Veigar won his lane, Veigar won. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Right.
Veigar's team was there to support him so well, and he was able to land those event horizons usually when they needed them, that they were able to get those kills. Even though Swain was doing a really good job of making sure that he got kills out of it, Veigar definitely benefits more from them, and he does have his Rabadons now, which means he is at 417 AP. Swain was in his prime a little while ago, but now Veigar's in his prime. Look at that!
The damage onto Swain is enough to get him out of there, and this may be another turret because of it. Swain, a lot of the damage for Team Furious right now. There goes the Ezreal ult. It doesn't hit the minions, though. They are going to continue pushing, and why not right now when they have the chance to? I really think ult's going to clear out a wave, and it looks like they're going to push this. I wonder if they're going to get this. Oh, and there goes the Event Horizon onto Lee Sin. Lee Sin taking a lot of damage from Veigar, and they're going to just chip away at this turret slowly but surely. Chipping away at the turret, and Kennen getting hit as well. Right now, Veigar is just dealing a lot of damage. Even though Swain in their encounters have been winning 1-on-1, there's the Event Horizon again. Whoa! Wow! That damage coming off. Even though he right now Veigar has the higher CS, he does have the more items. Swain is in there. He's healing a lot faster and able to win one-on-one conflicts. However, it looks like it's just not enough right now for Team Furious, as Just the Usual is continuing to just push this mid lane.
Yeah, Swain really needed to win that mid lane before Veigar could get that Rabadons, but because Veigar was getting assists and kills every time Swain was getting kills, Veigar is scaling that much harder, and of course, Veigar's really winning out in CS there. It's 185 for Veigar, so 132 on Swain.
Wow, and Irelia just picks up her Trinity Force, so she is not only going to have a Wit End, but also a Trinity Force, and that means, go for it, I'm going to let you say it.
That's going to be tons of damage.
I hate myself a little bit more on the inside now, but...
Why did you let me do that?
Yeah, I shouldn't have let you do that. Oh, man. So, no. Okay, I've got to get over that. Right now, it looks like... Right now, Just the Usual, Team Furious is doing their best to kind of farm back, push back, and get a little bit of control. Something to notice, Team Furious has not taken a turret yet. They haven't taken one turret yet.
No, Just the Usual has done such a good job of pushing their lanes right when they need to. They know what they can do because of all those wards. Look at this ward coverage. This is frankly redonkulous.
Could you spell that for me? In fact, no, I probably don't want you to spell that for me.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, they do have absolute, and this is something that we saw. Just the Usual, by the way, won last month's League Monthly. They won the February version of it, and that's how they won it. They won it with their map coverage and their team fights. They are great. They do a great job at their map awareness on where they're going and why they are where they are. Ezreal in a very bad position. Ezreal's going to have to use his cleanse, but it's not enough as Irelia flashes over and takes him out. And once again, just being in the right place at the right time, they're masters at it. They do a wonderful job of being at the right place at the right time and having good map awareness.
Yeah, it's those wards. Alistar's done such a good job of warding. He doesn't need that much in the way of items, so he's got his Aegis, and now he's just buying a massive amount of wards. Look, he's finally working on his Shurelia's Reverie. Oh wow, look at that burst damage from Veigar, almost taking down Kennen!
Wow.
Oh, they almost got him, but he's going to be able to back off, going to be able to heal. But still, this is going to be huge. Just the Usual, maybe able to take one of the Nexus towers with that. Veigar is doing so much work right now. He has blue buff. He has 502 AP right now. Oh, there's the ult arrow from Ashe, and yes, Ezreal's gonna get burst down right along with Ezreal and Kennen both falling really quickly. Swain is forced to flash out and is gonna be running back to altar. Lee Sin falling in all of this. Alistar was able to headbutt Swain back out from the fountain, and Veigar picked up that kill there. This is going to be GG, definitely. Yep. Laying down the damage on that tower. Veigar seeing if he can burst down Taric and Fountain, but nope, not gonna happen. Looks like they're going for the double explosion.
Yes!
At the end, yes! That is going to be the double explosion.
We got the double explosion. GG. Well, I'll tell you what, man. That for the first, it was technically round number 2. Round number 1 was a bye for both of these teams, both Furious and Just the Usual. But first game we got to cast so far of this one. What a great intro game. I really thought for a while there that Team Just the Usual may actually lose it. They were the currently contenders, or the what's the word I'm looking for? They right now have the number 1 spot of the tournament because they won last month's tournament, and Team Furious gave them a run for their money. They did a great job in that game, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I think Just the Usual was able to press that early game advantage so hard. Aurelia picking up those first 3-4 kills so quickly against Kennen, making sure that she won that lane. Veigar was getting all the help he needed to win that really tough Swain lane. And of course, Ashe was farming, and Ezreal could do nothing about it. Ashe was farming better than Ezreal that whole time. Even if it was just by a little bit, it really showed.